Now, the number of members contesting for the position of Speaker of the House of Representatives has reduced as one of the three members that have indicated interest, Honorable Pali Iriase, has dropped out of the contest. Speaking in Abuja, the lawmaker who threw his weight behind the House Minority Leader Femi Gbajabiamila as candidate for the position said he dropped out of the contest purely on principle. He also called on his colleagues in the House to join forces with him to support Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila and whoever will be chosen as his deputy.
Circumstances, with a deep sense of responsibility and sacrificial self-denial, I have decided, notwithstanding my robust qualifications, to quit the race for Speaker and fully support Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, the current minority leader of the House of Representatives, for the job. In taking this decision, I have consulted widely, and I am confident that my teeming supporters will join me to achieve a seamless inauguration, emergence of our preferred candidate, and a smooth bipartisan relationship in the House of Representatives. Finally, I urge all members-elect of the 8th Assembly to think Nigeria first in these trying times and join forces to disappoint doomsday prophets by building an enduring consensus behind Femi Gbajabiamila and whoever we may choose to be his deputy. This will surely help to improve on the gains of the 7th Assembly and deepen the integrity of the House of Representatives of Nigeria.
3 winners have emerged in this year's edition of the Ford Ranger Odyssey competition held at the Coast Charis office in Lekki, that's here in Lagos. They'll join the last year's winner, Chinonso Okezwo, at a boot camp in South Africa, where 2 will thereafter proceed to Namibia for the African finale. Our correspondent, Oreoluwa Shonibare, reports.
Brain and brawn. Qualities, though different, cannot really be separated. And that is what Coast Charis Motors is aiming to prove as it looks to select Nigeria's representatives at this year's Ranger Odyssey Africa 2015 competition. A screening process follows, and then it's time to hit the terrain. But not before a word from the General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Services of Coast Charis Motors.
Odyssey is first and foremost an extremely tough, adventurous expedition. It will, however, include elements of competition where participants could test their 4x4 driving and mechanical skills, endurance, courage, stamina, perseverance, and resilience against the worst that nature could offer.
From team efforts to individual performances,
the man of the moment.
in the end, it's all about winning.
I can see your face.
After deliberations by the judges, the countdown to the top 3 begins.
Can we congratulate the winners for 2015?
These winners will now join last year's champion and attempt to rule the world.
I didn't believe I was going to win, but I'm glad I did. It was a tough run, but we scaled it.
As soon as we started, it turned out to be a fun. And at the end of the day, here I am today.
I already have a car to win in Namibia, so I'm just going to go claim it. That's.
Brain and brawn are indeed two opposites with similarities. Oreoluwa Shonibare, Channels Television News.
Hello, welcome to Business News. In spite of the concerns over the state of indebtedness of some state governments in Nigeria, a stockbroker with Foresight Securities, Charles Fakroga, says that the new Buhari administration should allow more state governments borrowings from the debt capital market. He was speaking to Channels Television's correspondent Temple Ashaju on President Buhari's intentions to address the current debt profile of Nigeria.
The debt equity, debt securities, the raising of money from the capital market by use of bonds, the rules are debt equity, debt securities, the raising of money from the capital market by use of bonds, the rules and regulations are clearly stated. The regulators, which is SEC, will be able to scrutinize any bond offer that is coming to the market from any government agency or a state government. And if they are able to meet the requirement, of course, it should be approved. Now, talking about the national debt that is in.
The president of African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, has been speaking on the mission for the development of the continent. Dr. Adesina intends to pursue policies that will pull the continent out of poverty and war during his term as the president of the bank. The newly elected AfDB president called for efforts towards reviving the rural economies through agriculture and its value-added chains.
Indeed, the way it is structured, that by the special grace of God, that poverty will not be the competitive advantage of Africa. That we will work very hard to develop programs that will end poverty on this continent and that will lift people out of it and create opportunities for shared prosperity all across our continent. Obviously, I think critical issues of infrastructure will be important. Energy for all is going to be important. Electricity is going to be important. Very critical to build private sector, to create wealth all across our continent, but also to make sure that we are able to create jobs, for hundreds of millions of our people, instead of people going across the Sahara Desert or Mediterranean to go to Europe. We want to create jobs on this continent, and I'm very confident that we can do that. But also, I believe that we must revive our rural economies and lift hundreds of our poor people that depend on agriculture out of poverty. And so getting agriculture to work as a business is going to be a big one that we are going to do for inclusive growth, but also regional integration. So my dream ambition for Africa is an Africa that is growing well, that has a lot of shared prosperity. An Africa where you have a lot of peace, stability, and security. But one we also are regionally integrated among ourselves, but also globally competitive in what we do. In Africa, we can be proud to call our own. And I'm glad that the experience that I have gained here, the support that I have gained here, will put me in great state to put many of those things also into practice.
AfDB President Dr. Akinwumi Adesina. The week started on a negative note at the Nigerian equities market as the all-share index closed at 34,044.65. Bolaji Akinwale has the rest of the day's trading figures.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The Nigeria equities market opened the week on a negative note as the all-share index shed 0.77% to close at 34,044.65. On the gainers chart, petroleum markets and stocks, Seplat stopped with 7 naira. It comes ahead of Guinness with 1 naira and PZ with 82 kobo. On the laggards list, Total led with 13 naira while 40 oil and Nigeria Brewers dropped 8 naira and 3 naira 10 kobo each. On the volume chart, bank stocks take the lead as shown in Zenith Bank, Diamond Bank and UBA. At the end of the session, investors staked 5.5 billion naira for 340.7 million shares in 4,184 deals. And that's a wrap on the Stock Market Report. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Thanks a lot, Bolaji. Well, that's it on Business News. I'm Anne Umawadu. A quick look at the global market figures. At this moment, the news at 10 continues in a moment.
ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria's Golden Eaglets face Brazil, United States and South Korea in 4-nation invitation tournament. And that's on sports. To join us again.